Avi Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Senny Hersh and myself. Dial us up on the World Wide Web, www.ntnm.org. Check out community policing. We're really big on that. Caps24.org. Senny Hersh runs that site. He's the chairman of the District Advisory Committee of the 24th District. Find out all the community policing meetings for West Rogers Park and Rogers Park by going to caps24.org. Call 311 to find out where the other community policing meetings are in the city. Oh, and very important about our website, you find a link to see all of our shows on YouTube. And at this point, 40,000 of you have watched shows. Don't you have anything better to do? In any event, it is a pleasure and privilege to have the 10-year senator going in for a big 14 now of the 8th District, as well as his first appearance on the show as the Democratic committeeman of the 50th Ward and the former suite mate of presidential candidate Barack Obama.
Office suite mate.
Office suite. I'm sorry.
Let's clarify that.
Sorry. Oh,
let's clarify that.
Right.
Yeah.
We're talking about Senator Ira Silverstein.
Good to be back. Good to be back.
First of all, pleasure. Thank you. And that's not even to mention your close relationship with Joe Lieberman in terms of advising you on how to operate.
Yes. So I'm well connected. Hopefully, we'll see who becomes president, though.
Okay, well, good. I can only imagine that you probably might vote Democrat along those lines this time.
Yes, I've always voted Democrat, and I hope that we'll see what happens with Barack. Hopefully he'll be successful come November 4th.
Right. I mean, does you remember his friends at all?
He does. I mean, we still keep in contact minimally, but he's on a different level. I mean, you got to realize in Illinois is going straight Obama. So I mean, they're not.
Oh, that's an understatement.
They're not giving us any resources here in terms of campaign literature and in terms of signs. But they've asked me to speak in other states, so I'm trying to see if I can maneuver my schedule.
Nice.
Yeah, maneuver my schedule, see if I can do that.
Okay. Well, he does have time to text message Scarlett Johansson, but the fact is, I think in that position I would too.
Yeah, well, he has not texted me.
And by the way, her mother's Jewish.
I didn't know that. Okay, well, that's news to me. But no, I've not got any text messages from Barack since in a while.
Well, you're just not as cute as Scarlett. What can I say?
What am I going to do? I try.
Okay, so hey, you're running up against. Do you have opposition this time?
No, thank God, no one's running against me. So
that's going to be a rough race.
Well, I mean, we take each race seriously. I'm grateful. I mean, I've been representing this 8th district for now. It's going to be 10 years now. So
1998.
1998. So I'm get out there, do the work, try to represent the people. It's not an easy job. It's getting rougher and rougher because being in politics, especially with the environment we have now in Springfield. It's getting tougher and tougher, and a lot of us down there are doing a good job, but we have some people that want to cause problems, and that's what's going on right now. That's why people are so negative about recalls and everything, and I don't blame them. I get sick of it too, dealing with some of my colleagues.
Yeah, I will say this, and I don't want to get you in any trouble, but as far as I'm concerned, now it's 1 down, 2 to go. Goodbye Jones, and now I'm looking at Madigan and Blagojevich.
Well,
but that's my opinion.
I mean, Jones was a surprise. We knew that he was going to retire. We just didn't know when. Now the battle is who's going to take his place. Mike Madigan, I don't see any rumors or any of him inkling that he's going to retire.
But I don't think so at all. As a matter of fact.
No. He enjoys what he does. He runs a tight shift there. Blagojevich, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting race coming another year when everyone starts announcing. So we'll see. I mean, it's going to be close, and it's going to be interesting to see who the players are going to be. There's a lot of players out there right now. I just came back from Denver, and Bill Daley was out there, and this one's talking Vallis, Lisa Madigan. You had Hines talking. You have a lot of people interested in that job. And after this election, after November, I think people will start making noise.
And then, of course, the question is that if Obama wins, then there's a seat in the Senate available, and who might fill that seat?
That's a domino effect. I mean, I don't know. That's obviously the governor's call. I don't know who he's looking at. I mean, there's names been thrown out all over the place, but we'll deal with that on November 5th. But right now, I think it's going to be a hotly contested gubernatorial race.
Yeah, I would tend to think so. I don't see how it possibly couldn't be. So, you have a good time in Denver?
Denver was nice. I mean, it's a beautiful city. I mean, Chicago's a great city, but the scenery in Denver is
well, you got mountains.
Got mountains. It's breathtaking. I mean, you can't. I mean, it's just to see nature as it is. It's unbelievable. Nothing against Chicago. I love Chicago. It's flat here, but I enjoy Chicago. But it was a great convention. There was
we do have Ridge Avenue here.
Yes, we do have Ridge and Mount Trashmore. It was the excitement, the energy level was extremely high. I experienced it 8 years ago when I went for the Gore Lieberman campaign. This was much more enthusiastic and much more exciting. So, we'll see how this carries the next couple of months and what happens on the Republican side and how that works out.
Now, when you say you don't have a Republican opponent this time, I bet there aren't even enough Republicans left in the state to actually run for all the offices.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of my opponents do have Republican opposition. Republicans do want to put somebody up in case something goes wrong with the Democratic candidate, or they just want to show that the party is still viable. But whether they found somebody, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they could. If they could, they should. If they wanted to run, they're more than welcome to run. I run on my record every 4 years, every 2 years, based on the redistricting.
It's 3 times every 10 years is how it turns out.
That's right. So we'll go through this again in 2012.
So this is your first time. Actually, this is a very good time to be a Democratic committeeman because this can't be a very rough election with Obama on top of it.
No, I mean, we've rebuilt the organization from ground up. We've done a lot of good things since we've taken over.
How did your bowling thing go?
We had a bowling fundraiser. We had a movie in the park in July.
The B movie.
B movie. We had free ice cream,
that was over at Chippewa.
Face painting, yes. Chippewa, balloon twisters. We had over about 750 people there.
Wow, great crowd.
We've had a bunch of voter registration drives. So I mean, I'm trying to start from the grassroots, get more people involved in the system. But being a Democratic committeeman has it's a great job. I enjoy it. I ran if I didn't want it. But you're right. In this type of year, it's good to be a Democratic committeeman, especially being the presidential candidate is coming from Chicago. So it should
this has got to be a slam dunk. A slam dunk could be.
Still, we got to get the vote out, and we still got to get judges and all the other things. So precincts working. So it's still a lot of work.
No, the judges are very important. That's for sure.
So.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, as of this particular shoot, we're still a shoot and a half left to go before the election. Well, if you had actually 7 judges on, or 7 judicial candidates.
Yeah, the judges are always important because you want to get those retained. But people go through the list, the ballot, they're the last ones, and sometimes people drop off. And there's a great drop off, especially in the ballots, even for state senate and rep. People go to the presidential, vice president, maybe 1 or 2, and that's it. And there's a drop off because the ballot's pretty long. Then you have the referendums and everything. So it can drag on.
Yeah, I figure if I'm only going to get to vote at maximum twice in any given year, I'm going to spend every single second necessary to make sure I check off every single box.
Well, then you're the type of voter that we all love. I don't know how you vote, but it's good to have you in there.
Well, actually, you can read Jewish Chicago, and for every time for Senate I voted for you, I'll say that.
Okay, well, that's good.
So I'm a little more transparent than most people that way.
That's good.
It's very hard for me to argue certain things or hide how I voted if I wrote a 7,000-word article about it.
No, whatever. No, but it's important that everyone get out there, and I'm sure we'll have a high turnout this year.
No, I think so, too. I will say that I was actually an election judge in a presidential year when they still had paper ballots for judges. And I think we finished about 3:30 in the morning.
You predate me on that one. I don't remember the
I
remember the levers. That's the only thing I remember when I was a kid.
You know what? I was lucky. The first time I ever voted was probably the best candidate I ever voted for, and it's been straight downhill since. Seriously. I voted, my first time I voted, I was under 21 in 1972. And I did my first vote for a delegate to the Democratic Convention, and I voted for Eugene McCarthy delegate named Avram S. Avi Meyers. And it's been straight downhill from there.
Okay, I don't want to touch that.
And by the way, that's not even to mention the old machines. You brought that up. At one time it used to say Democrat, like Richard J. Daley Mayer, and the other one said Republican, danger 50,000 votes.
We've come a long way. I mean, hopefully won't have any problems with the election machines. I know there was some questions.
I think it's been great the way the machines work.
No, I think David Orr's done a good job. I know he's had some kinks he had to get out of the way, but I think it works better. The results come in much faster. There's no, questions of people holding back. That doesn't work anymore. So it's a good system. Like I said, two elections ago we had some issues, but I think they worked out all the kinks. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I expect a high turnout out here, especially in the 50th and the north side of Chicago.
There's going to be for sure.
Yeah.
I can't imagine any Republican candidate though in Cook County who might win.
No, I think the Democratic ticket is going to be pretty strong. I don't see any Republicans pulling anything out this year. It's county-wise, at least even in the state's attorney's race, I don't see that going the Democratic candidate losing that. So I think it should be a good year for Democrats this year. Now we have to worry about another 2 years when the state wide open officers are up. So
well, then you've got there's a lashback at whoever the sitting president is too. And,
yeah, I mean you get that the pendulum goes back and forth. So I'm sure we'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, you've got a full-time office now on Devon.
Well, I've been there for about 6 years already. So I moved the committeeman office right next door to that. So I'm on Devon. I like it. It's much more visible. We're in front of people. So, we get a lot of walk-ins, and it's a lot of fun. And it's better, I think it's better for the organization, too, to have a much more vocal look, especially Devon Avenue, which everyone's trying to redevelop and revitalize. So it's good to have something, the political nature and the political operation there, too.
All right, now, you're a state senator, but do you get involved at all with what's going on? I mean, it's not specifically your job as a state senator to get involved with what's going on the street, but, I mean, the merchants are... Listen, I hear it from people.
There's a lot of problems on Devon. I mean, there's crime issues. There's an overall concern of where Devon is going.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been streetscape, and there's questions regarding the streetscape program. Overall, there's a question of what's the goal, what's the theme, and ever since I've been on Devon for over 20 years, I've had my law practice there.
Right.
There's never been a theme. There's a hodgepodge. And if anyone comes to Devon Avenue and you drive down from Kedzie all the way down to Claremont, even further to Ridge, you see such a variety of stores. You have a Jewish section, you have an Indian section, Pakistanians, you have an Arab community. It's amazing. Everyone
Russian,
is Intuan, Russian,
everyone. Georgia even.
Georgia, everybody, Syrian too is growing.
Tbilisi.
Everybody is working together. Yeah. I mean, you figure that, in Middle East, everyone's about to kill each other. On Devon Avenue, everyone gets along. And their all goal is, the merchants want to make money, and they want to develop the area. And there's been a lot of concern regarding where Devon Avenue is going to be going in the next 4 to 5 years. So we'll take it to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to wish you a lot of luck along those lines. And now that with the full-time office, I think, first of all, I'm always happy to see any kind of good business on Devon. And I think Sonny and I later this year are actually going to take the camera down Devon and try to interview some of the more interesting street people.
The street people are interesting too, but I would go into the merchants, give them a plug too.
No, the merchants I like a lot. It's a non-commercial show, so there's a limit. But I'm allowed to say things like shop Devon Avenue. It's a wonderful place. And keep Devon Avenue clean. And if you're a scuzzy person, put yourself in the solar trash compactors there. And go from there. At this point, I want to thank very much my guest, who is about to become a 4-term senator.
Thank God.
Yay! Ira Silverstein. And I want to thank you so much.
My pleasure.
If people want to contact your office, they call?
773-743-5015, and we're at 2951 West Devon in Chicago.
And, hey, he's not going to tell you to vote early and vote often, but I will. So, in any event, I'm going to say the same thing to Dick Devine tomorrow.
Okay, be my guest. Say that, Dick, not Tyra.
I will, and slap the handcuffs off on me, and we'll go from there. I want to thank you very much, and good luck on the election, which is already in progress.